All right, folks, this is the last few days of training before we are finally able to get our own house.
You know, back in the day, masters were required by law to provide all of the necessities for starting one's own shop upon completion of an apprenticeship.
Wow.
I think we're gonna get eyebrow wax.
I mean, that's the only way those things can move so well.
They're well greased.
Look at that.
That is
Whoa.
amazing.
Hello, modern convenience.
Story of Seasons is the convenience game. Almost. As far, like, mechanically it is. It's everything else that's inconvenient.
Now let me tell you about freshness, dearie. Read this book.
Your book.
Freshness is a very slight thing. We don't need to worry about it too much. Basically, for the first couple of days after you pick something, it'll be labeled as fresh, and you'll be able to sell it for more.
Holy Hannah. Well, that's an interesting quote from Mr. Thornbrain. Freshness is not something you gotta worry about.
No, well, they don't go rotten.
Please don't share an elevator with me.
The point being, we don't need to worry about anything going rotten. So, like, we can store them and save them for later. The only thing we need to worry about is the price will go down, but we've got 18 of them right now. Although we might have given them to Ada, I think they were hers. If anything, we have stock. Skippy.
You're not trying to short me on my cut of the fresh turnips, are you, dearie?
Nope, turnip pimp grandma gave us our share.
You gotta make sure your stable gets their cut.
Let's give her a fish. Ida is being extremely polite for an item she doesn't actually care that much about. She called it a wonderful gift. I thought, oh, it must be something she likes. Because I looked up the things that she does like. I think she does like some kinds of fish, but she actually prefers butterflies. So later on, I'll be giving her a shit ton of little white butterflies. They're everywhere.
Poor old lady's just got like a drawer full of rotten fish that she hates, but she's too polite to throw out.
If it's rotten by that point, it's okay to throw it out.
Oh, I wish that simple girl wouldn't stop giving me these terrible fish.
There we go. Got a Claude.
Wow. Just a straight up gem the size of your torso.
Yeah. And a fish the size of my hand.
That would explain why the economy's so screwed up here.
Well, thanks to me.
Jeez, I gotta tell you though, I mean the fact that that good old Best here is able to scoop up a fish like a hungry grizzly bear, that's pretty impressive.
I did pull a skeleton out of its skin.
You grabbed it too hard!
That's cool. Most of the fish we're going to catch while floating around in the streams are the small fish. The char, I think, is a medium fish. Char and trout. And a couple of small fish you can't use for cooking. Most of the small fish you can turn into very basic recipes, and it's very price convenient. Small fish are like worth 10, 20 gold, but you can cook them into something. I think just grilled fish, which is worth like 100, and they're very good for recovering stamina and for giving as gifts. The bigger fish you want to save for other things, or you can just sell them because they're worth a lot just on their own.
And they make a fine improvised weapon.
To be used against our rivals.
That's right, you and Ada are just driving up in a turnip truck, knocking over mailboxes with an 84 centimeter trout.
There are a surprising amount of characters who love butterflies, and there are so many of these small white cabbage butterflies just flying around. So it's like easy friendship. That rabbit is probably one of the easier wild animals to befriend, because you can actually buy carrots from Olmar's shop, and that's their preferred item.
Whoa. I don't know if that's racist or not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a way to racially stereotype rabbits.
Yeah, in real life, don't raw carrots actually clog up their insides?
Well, what happens is kids just feed them raw carrots, and they're not very nutritive. So the rabbits just like starve to death because all you're doing is basically feeding them candy.
Yeah.
One thing that I learned about rodents, being a dyed-in-the-wool rodent enthusiast, is that rodents are especially susceptible to the taste of sweetness.
Huh.
To the point where they become addicted to it. Just like American children.
You're gonna see a lot of me becoming the master of fish sometimes.
Nice boot.
Yeah. I think I mentioned previously, I'm not gonna actively show me getting every master ranking.
Oh, but now you have a pair.
Yep, you can sell those. Was that a hamburger?
I think it was a walnut. That looked like a pistachio.
I like my idea better.
Be very weird to throw into a dessert. Why are there so many damn boots?
Are you saying that you've never had a cheeseburger sundae before?
You asked that like I should have.
Wow, you are missing out, friend.
Yeah, come on. Savory desserts are where it's at this year.
Oh, man. It's sweet and it's a very sophisticated taste.
Yeah, sure. Hamburger Sunday.
Hey, try it out. Post pictures in the thread, folks.
Here's a new character, it's Lutz. He's the son of Margot and, Big Nose Dude. He's basically the kid whose genetics did not line up. Because both of his parents have giant noses, and his is very small.
It's actually really funny, because my family's exactly the same way.
What size nose does the postman have?
Ooh!
I'm getting some good shit here. Bottle we used for a couple of furniture pieces. Mostly it's just good for selling. I think it's worth 200. And so are those horn turbans that I'm pulling up. Now this is kind of interesting. That pile of wood can be used sort of like a shortcut to get down the stairs really quickly. But one thing we haven't seen yet is if you jump on those and most of the fences around the game, there's a chance that something will just sort of pop out of your ass. Like a flower, a rock, a weed, or even sometimes crop seeds.
What?
You'll have to wait and see it in action, but I think there's a chance it can happen at least once a day.
Is this a borrowed dress, maybe?
There's so much stuff in the pockets.
Well, we did talk about how there were pontoons and a refrigerator under there.
Yeah, that's right. A live fish tank.
Exactly. Now, Rager's restaurant here is going to be one of your best friends in the early game. Because he sells potato pancakes in spring for only 112 gold. In seedling mode, obviously. One potato pancake refills a heart. So if you, like, you're gonna run out of your stamina very easily. So just for 400 gold, you can get it back up, no problem. And eventually, I think we have to unlock all of the recipes you can get during the contests and what have you. But after that point, if you keep going back to his restaurant and ordering food from him, eventually he will start giving you his family recipes.
Ah.
And it comes with soup, fruit, and improbably balanced dessert.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger Sunday.
Yep.
I actually don't recommend that, because Marion seems to charge a lot for recovery.
Goes through a lot of eyeshadow.
And apparently a lot of diet pills, too. You look tired. Have some amphetamines.
You just told me. I'm probably just so tired I forgot.
Have you tried country meth?
What a weird thing to say. This is where I belong.
I'm here trading country meth. I mean turnips. Turnips.
Is it just like regular meth, but it comes in a mason jar?
Mason jar with a handle on it, cause yeah, fuck it.
It's like those big hooch bottles you see in like the 1900s. But instead of triple X on the side, it says triple M.
It's got the Breaking Bad logo on it.
And after you finish your drugs, you can flip it on Pinterest for a decent profit.
Absolutely.
Just sell what I have. I don't have the space to store it anywhere.
Enjoy the pocket fish.
Pretty easy money. And I'm getting rid of the butterflies here, because it takes me a while to learn that they're actually very useful to make friends. I do hang on to the honeybees, though, because eventually I will unlock a plot of land where I could just stuff bees into a beehive, and they'll make honey for me.
You work for me now, bees.
That is exactly how it works.
It's very lucky I just found a bar of iron while I was swimming around, because we use those to craft tools.
It's very useful you didn't drown trying to pull it back up.
Well, like the Peridot, it was bigger than my head.
What a mineral-rich area.
That or it's a shipping channel and they just keep getting waylaid by bandits and stuff falls off the side.
Yar, we be the clumsy traders of the open river.
One of the things I really appreciate about this game is Xseed's localization, because they put some amusing item descriptions into the game, if you look for them. They clearly had fun with themselves.
Well, it seems to me that that's a good indication of our friend Best's optimistic attitude towards life. You know, you catch a fish. Oh man, this is the biggest one I've ever caught. Technically. Oh man, it's a bottle. This could have a romantic note.
I'm gonna put it into a chair.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Where's my notebook?
I don't know why the bottle had 3 M's on the side, but hey.
One thing I'm glad they started doing, I don't know when they started doing it, but I can actually buy the fruit trees that produce fruit in the next season, in this season. In some earlier games, you had to actually buy the current trees and wait an entire year before you could harvest them. Here they give you the month that is needed for them to grow. And a lot of people like my kerchief. Depending on the outfits that you wear, when you talk to people, if they like your outfit, you'll get an additional boost to your friendship points.
Wow, for real? That's
Yeah.
adorable.
So now Lily is a little bit more my friend because of my snazzy hat. Which is just a towel I found that I wrapped around my head.
It's like the immortal poet said, every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed farmer.
There's a lot of cooking materials that we can buy from Ash here. We're not going to be using most of them, though. In fact, pretty much everything from cinnamon down, like aside from salt, sugar, coffee beans, what have you, those are actually spices that once we've cooked a recipe a certain amount of times, we'll actually be able to add a secret ingredient, which will make it better. It's sort of an additional thing that you don't need to do.
Well, if you want to settle for a half-assed job, I suppose.
You're never gonna make it on Chopped with that attitude. That would also explain the hamburger sundae.
That's genius, though. Don't knock it till you tried it, kids.
And make the chop judges try it.
Yeah, that's right. Go on, man. Eat it. You gotta taste it.
I wonder if anyone ever tried to do that. They knew they weren't gonna make it, so they just make the most horrible thing they can. You gotta eat it.
Come on, you gotta taste it, man.
One of the things I like about Lutz and his dad is that they both like the outdoors and they both like catching bugs, and Margot makes their life suck. Let me talk to you. She's eating a box of seaweed. That's what it looks like.
Oh, man.
Oh no, Grandma's eating her mush.
I'm glad that there are different containers for different items. It could easily get way too cluttered if I had all of my perishables and my tools in there at the same time. Farm fresh, like turnips,
For now.
for now. For a second there, I'm gonna teach you how to take care of crows. Which would be awesome.
Now, a lot of people say that you can't milk a crow on account of it's a bird.
Natsume had the rights to cows and chickens, so they had to make do.
I'm gonna teach you how to brush and milk my emus.
What's up, you little butt-faced mop top?
Hanako's sweet. She can also clone, apparently. As we will see in part 5, I think.
See, science fiction horror is fine when it's an adorable little mop-topped cow.
Her mom cuts her hair like that, and she's very proud of it.
I'm not sure I want to use an old milker on the cow.
I'd like to be known as an old milker.
Why?
It would look really good on a business card. Oh, pleasure to meet you. I'm Old Milker Skippy Granola.
The joke being Skippy Granola is your job title.
That's right. It's like James Bond, it's a hereditary title.
Your teeth are disgusting.
Your breath smells like the backside of Hanako.
Using tools on the animals can be a little annoying. Because the animals can still move around while you're doing it.
Oh. What you need to do is you need to take out the hammer and just stun them a little bit.
Here's what I'm talking about. I have to follow her around. Because I accidentally bumped into her and that made her start walking away.
Come back, Hanako.
I do like that. I can just throw a giant wad of food onto the ground.
So good.
Treats from around A New Beginning, I believe, were drastically reduced in how stupid they were. In this one, you just give a certain amount of cow-specific treats to cows, and eventually they'll start producing more milk. Alternately, if you don't have any animal-specific, you can give them the generic kind, and that'll just increase their friendship, but it won't increase their productivity.
Do you give them the other treats just in case they identify as a sheep?
Well, you can test it out, but they all universally don't like any other treats. But I'm sure they appreciate your open-mindedness.
Come on, Hanako, you'll like it. It's Ethiopian food.
Crabs, hell yeah. Barely use them in any recipes. I think they count as shellfish, maybe? Or crustaceans. There are different types of fish that are used in certain recipes. And in making fish bait.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we'll see that eventually.
Now, do you get a fishing rod at some point? Do you just slather the bait on your forearms?
We will get a fishing rod eventually.
So Best doesn't go noodling.
I just really like the idea of Farmer Best, Renegade Fish Strangler.
Pretty flowers. It's kind of interesting that when you go out into this area, you can actually see the flowers growing on the ground, and you can't pick them until they're fully grown. Got a sea urchin.
Alright, a river urchin.
With her bare hands.
And an octopus.
What?
Wow! He scooped up the Kraken!
And another. Kraken Jr.
Oh my god, Mrs. Kraken!
I'm curious what's over here. This patch of crap, there's a couple of those around town. That's actually related on how many merchants you actually have in town. As you unlock more, Veronica will actually trust you more with the decoration of the town. So we can actually construct some furniture or what have you, and decorations that we could put on our farm, or we could put them in the town if we wanted. But they don't have a purpose otherwise. So what I like to do is when I unlock those plots, I go in, I take down everything that's already in there, and then just sell it. When you trust me with your crap, you get what you deserve.
But Best, what are you doing? Marisol, I can pawn this!
She didn't say it, but she allowed it.
Permission by omission!
I am going around and talking to people. In later parts, I'm actually going to separate that into their own parts because there is a good amount of unique character dialogue Not nearly as much as Rune Factory 4. Like, that's going to have additional dialogue parts for every update almost,
Holy crumbs.
but significant amounts, especially with the festivals. Now, here's what I was talking about. Ash didn't come to town today, and I have basically a full rucksack, but I can't sell anything since she's not here. And it's going to be like that all through spring. It'll be a little better in summer because I will unlock a second merchant, and it'll be even better in fall because with 3 merchants that time, there will pretty much always be someone in town. But you run the risk.
Well, I guess what you might have lost in profits from selling those octopi, you've made up for in a roommate.
Have you been watching my Stranded Deep playthrough? Because that's eerily close to something I've been doing.
Nope, gonna watch it now if you're befriending an octopus.
More a stingray and a bat.
Hey, stingrays are the bats of the deep.
That's right.
I love their doofy faces.
Well, manta rays are the bats of the deep. Stingrays can't actually hurt you.
I actually don't have a counterpoint to that. Don't fuck with stingrays, kids.
I mean, they don't hurt you in Stranded Deep. I can hurt them, which is how I got one.
I put it in an arm bar.
I think he negged it until self-esteem was low enough.
But maybe I better hang out with this landfish.
Basically, once you've unlocked a tool, Almar will also start selling it at the general store in case you need one. In general, once you've gotten one, that's pretty much all you're going to need. Although, one of the requirements to unlock one of the later merchants is to sell a certain amount of tools. And an easy way to get through that is just to buy all of Almar's tools and then sell them to the merchants. In fact, there's a certain amount of that is a little easier with not Otmar. He sells seeds and he sells carrots. And one of the merchants also requires a shit ton of those to be sold. And you can cut into that pretty easily using Otmar. Well, now that I'm here, Lily.
I'm gonna put this shithole on the map. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start a rock and roll festival, and then we'll morph it into a highly commercial EDM festival.
And then eventually it'll go back to an ironic folk festival. And no one will come. I gave him a bug and I'm the bee's knees. You complete dork.
Oh, what a guy.
See, like, flies everywhere. And because I keep... When you catch a crap ton of bugs, you get bug pun-related achievements.
Oh boy.
The puns aren't plentiful in this game, thankfully, but they're there. Getting a head start on the chicken feed. I think I forget to make a coop for a while. But at least I took care of it now. Now I know a lot of the trash was used in A New Beginning for construction. It's not used that often in Story of Seasons, so you don't actually need to hang on to it that much.
No Mad Max style trash fortresses.
Which would be amazing. But that was our last days of training. Next time, the worst farm lives again.
I can't wait. I can't wait to join the war band of Bestus Erectus. Thank you.
Oh, that was bad.
Immortan Best.
Yeah, perfect.
Bester Mister?
Mester is right.
Who runs Mineral Town?
Oh man. Seriously. Call me. Call me. I have ideas for the future of this series. Story of Warhammer 40k.
Well, they're doing crossovers now. Sort of. Hamtaro's in the next game.
Heck yeah.
Man, that owns.